Hello everyone, my name is Adonis and welcome to Movie Notes. Today, I am going to explain a sci-fi horror drama movie Parasite released in year 2015. The movie begins showing some coming out from ocean. We see a man sleeping and out of nowhere, a creature came and enters his ear. The man felt irritation and we see that he is now in extreme anguish but instantly recovers and goes to sleep. These creatures are called parasites. Now we see a boy named Shin-Chi. He is listening to music at night using earphones. The parasite tries to enter his ear but couldn't due to earphones. It now tries to enter his nose but Shinichi gets irritated and instantly gets it out. He grabs a book to crush it but the parasite bits his hand and goes inside his skin. Now her mother comes and Shinichi was panicking. Her mother checks his hand and surprisingly it was alright. Next morning Shinichi feels very strange. He was unable to move his hand easily. On the other hand, we see that man who got infected at beginning. He goes to his wife and suddenly opens his mouth. It looked horrific and he turned into a monster. He eats his own wife and kills her. Now we see Shin-Chi walking with his friend to school. She notices his weird behavior today. He was feeling very strange. He felt powerful and dizzy at the same time. He comes home and tries to cut his hand, but suddenly his hand turns into a monster and attacks him. But then he talks to him and says that I won't harm you. It used to read his books and even use his laptop. He says that my name is Miggy and requests Shin-Chi to never cut his hand again. Now we see that Shin-Chi and Miggy have become friends, but not all parasites were friendly. They all were monsters and were destroying everything. Miggy now drags him to a place where many other parasites were eating human flesh. They think that Shin-Chi is also infected. They offered him food. But when they come to know that Shin-Chi is normal, they attacked him. Luckily, Miggy fights that parasite and saved Shin-Chi. The scene cuts and we see Shin-Chi listening to news of people being mysteriously killed. All people were confused because they haven't found the killer yet. These parasites were very clever and they used to do their job very carefully. Shin-Chi asks Miggy to stop his companions. Miggy tells him that we need humans to survive just like you need animal flesh and plants. There is nothing wrong in this. This all is our nature. Shin-Chi goes to school and then Miggy informs him that his teacher is a parasite. Actually, Miggy used to sense all types of parasites in his surroundings. Teacher also senses Miggy and she talks to Shin-Chi. She says that you don't need to be afraid of me. I won't harm you or any other human. I want to study human behavior so I can learn human qualities. That's why I am here in school. She then introduces him with two other parasites. One was a student and other was a police officer. She tells him that this police officer is my husband and we are expecting a baby who will be completely normal. She further says that this baby is the reason we want to behave like normal people. We will only hunt humans in private. She invites Shin-Chi to their group but Miggy disagrees. The next day that police officer comes to Shin-Chi. Miggy tells him he is here to kill you because he knows that you killed that parasite in restaurant. The police officer now attacks them and here we see a fierce fight between them. Miggy finally killed that police. The scene cuts and we that police officer's body. A parasite comes out from it and enters someone's body and that someone was Shin-Chi's mother. She comes home and Miggy informs Shin-Chi that your mother desires to kill you. Shin-Chi warns him not to kill his mother but his mother transforms her face and attacks Shin-Chi. He starts bleeding and was about to die. The scene cuts here and we see Shin-Chi totally recovered tomorrow. Miggy tells him that you are about to die so I had to transfer my cells to your wound, but the only problem is that you are now fully a parasite. This means that Shin-Chi was now fully infected. They both start to search for his mother. They searched everywhere but couldn't find her. They went to that teacher and asked her but she didn't reveal anything. Miggy tells him that from now on I will have to get 4 hours of sleep every day. I will not be able to protect you at that time so you will have to save your own self. Next morning, we see that same infected student who was introduced by teacher takes admission in Shin-Chi's school. He pretends to be Shin-Chi's friend, but with passage of time, everyone comes to know his reality. He kills everyone and now proceeds to kill Shin-Chi's friend. Shin-Chi comes here and takes his friend. They both jumped off the building. We now see the teacher. She too wanted infected student to die as her secrete could get reveled because of him. She throws a bomb to him and the whole floor explodes, but still that student remains safe. Now the police came, but that student also killed every policeman. Miggy informs Shin-Chi that the student is at top of building. Shin-Chi transforms his hand into an arrow and kills that student. He now goes to the teacher and asks her the address of that policeman's parasite. Teacher finally reveals him the address. The policeman's parasite was still inside her mother. Shin-Chi reaches there and sees his mother. She attacks him, and the problem here was that it was time for Miggy's sleep, so Shin-Chi had to fight alone. He tries a lot and finally kills that parasite by cutting his throat, but his mother was also killed. He now visits his friend in the hospital, and there he promises to kill every parasite. Here we see that someone is taking photos of them. He looked like a spy. The part 1 of this movie ends here. In part 2, we are shown some time later after the incident. The military came to know all about this parasite attack. They wanted to rescue people. Now we see them bringing a prisoner who could tell whether a person is a parasite or not. Some people are brought to him, and he declared everyone human. Now Shin-Chi comes, and he got confused seeing him, but finally declares him a human as well. On way home, Miggy tells Shin-Chi that a parasite is near him. They go to a building and see a parasite eating human flesh there. The parasite comes closer to them and Miggy kills him. He senses someone behind him, and here we see that same spy who took pictures of them in part 1. The scene cuts here and we see a mayor of the city. He speaks in favor of parasites, and that teacher was also with him. Now we see the baby of that teacher. He was a normal human being. The mayor knew that Shin-Chi was killing all parasites, so he wanted to kill him. The teacher stops him, saying that Miggy and Shin-Chi both are insane bodies. If Shin-Chi dies, then Miggy too would be killed. Actually, that spy was sent by the teacher on Shin-Chi. Now we see Shin-Chi walking. He senses someone behind him. He looked behind, and it was that spy. He talks to Shin-Chi and suggests taking help of police. Shin-Chi disagrees, saying that police is full of parasites. Shin-Chi here comes to know that teacher has sent him. He goes to teacher and questions her. He tells her that you are wrong and shouldn't do this. The teacher asks him that why are you killing our companion parasites then? They are only learning to eat humans and soon will stop feeding on them. Shin-Chi remains quiet and goes to that spy. He tells him that teacher is very dangerous parasite. She can hurt you, so you should stay away from her. The spy doesn't listen to him, and the scene cuts here. Next day, we see that spy meeting Mayor. He actually wanted to test Mayor. He attaches a voice recorder in his room. The mayor come to know this. He orders his assistant to kill the spy. He sends a parasite to his house, but he was not at home. They found his daughter, so they killed her. On the other hand, Miggy informs Shin-Chi that parasites are coming to kill you. A man attacks them, and actually, 5 parasites were inside him. Miggy fights him and chopped off his head. They thought that they have killed him, but in reality, only 1 parasite was killed. The scene cuts and we see that teacher talking to Mayor. She says that I had told you not to send any parasite after Miggy or spy, then why have you done this? Mayor notices her changed behavior and becomes angry. He didn't like his sympathy towards humans, so he wants to kill her too. He sends 3 parasites after her, but the teacher killed all 3 of them. She comes home and finds out that her baby was missing. She finds a note there. It was written that your baby is with me. Come to meet me on bridge. That note was of that spy. He wanted revenge of his daughter. The teacher calls Shin-Chi and they both went there. The spy was about to kill her baby, but Shin-Chi stops him. He says that he is a normal human, not a parasite. You will not get anything by killing him. The scene cuts here and we now see police in front of Mayor's building. They came to know that Mayor has enslaved many parasites inside his building. They raided his building and made everyone pass through a parasite detecting machine. Whoever got detected, they would kill him. The mayor now makes a speech to police. He says that humans are the real monsters who are killing parasites. All the police officers shoot Mayor for his thoughts on humans. They considered him a parasite. There, a serial killer starts shouting, saying that he was a normal human. Now a man comes there who had 5 parasites inside him. Everyone attacked him, but he remained safe. He was a very strong parasite. Now we see that spy was about to throw the baby, but suddenly that teacher unwillingly killed him to save her baby. Now everyone knew that she is a parasite. The police open fire at her. She knew that she will not survive, so she somehow saves her baby and hands him to Shin-Chi. Teacher dies there and Shin-Chi becomes sad. He remembers his mother. Now the police take Shin-Chi with them for investigation. Shin-Chi now instantly steals police car and goes to Mayor's building. There that same parasite attacked him and gets his car hit. Shin-Chi now hides in the jungle. He asks Miggy to go away because that evil parasite will detect them because of him. That parasite somehow comes there and attacks them. We see that Miggy and Shinhei are now separated and Miggy is fighting that parasite alone. The evil parasite kills Miggy. Shin-Chi cries slot and then goes to his friend's home. She takes care of him and he becomes well. Shin-Chi notices that Miggy is growing again from his arm. He could see Miggy's eye from there. Shin-Chi now realizes that evil parasite will detect him because of Miggy. He leaves his friend and goes away in order to save her life. That evil parasite finds him. They both fought and now Shin-Chi grabs a rod and stabs in that parasite's leg, but it had no effect on him. He says that I cannot die and I will kill all of you. You all will be my slaves and then parasites will rule this planet. He was about to kill Shin-Chi, but just then Miggy grows again and saves Shin-Chi. He attacks evil parasite and surprisingly, he was feeling pain this time. Miggy tells Shin-Chi that the rod which you had hit him with had a lot of chemicals inside it due to which all parasites want to escape from his body. Now all parasites leave his body and Shin-Chi throws his remaining skeleton in fire. The scene cuts here and we now see that everything is normal again. No parasite was left and everyone was living his normal life. Miggy now tells Shin-Chi that I should leave you too as no other parasite is left. We shouldn't live together. Shin-Chi disagrees and stops him, but despite this, Miggy ends himself and his hand turns normal again. Shin-Chi becomes sad and cries a lot. He misses Miggy but nothing could be done now. We now see some time later. Shin-Chi and his friend are living happily together. They used to visit teacher's baby as well and everything was normal now. We see that same serial killer again. He kidnaps Shin-Chi's friend and throws her down from the building. Shin-Chi runs and somehow saves her. He holds her hand and drags her upward. They both become emotional and start to cry. Shin-Chi feels that Miggy had helped him. He feels Miggy inside him and the movie ends here. The message in this movie is that a loyal friend always helps you in every situation. He stays with you through every thick and thin and treats you like a brother. A friend in need is really a friend indeed.